Welcome to Elevating Your Life, where each episode is dedicated to sharing valuable information, useful techniques, and empowering inspiration so that you can experience personal and physical abundance. Success and happiness are within your reach. I am your go-to gal who will help you find your happiness triggers and a true elevated life. I am your host, Paula Vail. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So happy to have you with me and my amazing guest for another episode of Elevating Your Life with Paula Vail. Today, I am going to share with everyone Susan Burrell. Susan is a master business coach in 17 countries, a professional speaker, an author. Her clients range from large multinational firms to entrepreneurs. She has done so many things. She has a podcast. We're going to have a lot of fun, and she's going to share a lot of inspiration with everyone and information. Susan, first off, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Paula. I'm excited to hear what we talk about, right?
Yes, I am too. See what we share. It's going to be great. Well, I would like to begin with, I know that you have an upcoming workshop, and I love this theme. Be a conduit of light and healing. I love that. So I really would love to discuss that a bit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. So I'm offering a 5-day workshop upcoming quickly. I'm looking at my calendar, May 18th through the 22nd of 2020. And it's called, Are You a Light Leader? And the way this happened, Paula, so I was doing on Facebook because we're all in this quarantine. I use other words that are a little not so happy, but quarantine. And I decided, I heard very clearly, because I'm an empath and an intuitive, that I needed to do like a 14-day guided meditation daily. So I did it on Facebook Live, first time I ever did that. And as the meditations went on in my own personal meditation, I always asked, how am I to serve? What's mine to do? And I try and really listen. And I heard toward the end of this 14-day practice, I heard very clearly, activate the light. And I was like, well, okay. And anybody want to tell me what that means? And it was interesting because the next thing I heard is, and I've been working this for, I think, about 15 years. My personal purpose is to be a conduit of spirit. And so I looked up what conduit meant, and here's what it means. Ready? It means a natural passage. It means to lead or contribute to a result, to lead or bring together. And so the more I thought about my being a conduit of spirit, I realized that activating the light and supporting others in activating their light meant that we could all become true conduits of spirit. And so the workshop's called, Are You a Light Leader? Because I think that my belief, Paula, is that we are all here on this planet at this time for a specific reason. And the world of effects and what's going on globally with the virus, with politics, with the economy, all that stuff is not the important thing. The important thing is, am I being authentically true to myself? Am I being that light and love that I was brought here to be? And I think that I would say, I said this before we recorded, I would say 90% of the people on the planet have been here to be light and love. And then circumstances get in the way and things go sideways and yucky and bad stuff happens. But if we can get back into becoming a conduit for spirit, I think that we can learn how to collaborate together and connect with each other and really be the change, really come out of this hibernation thing better than we were going in. And that's what I want, to be better than I was coming into this isolation period. So the workshop is a 5-day workshop. Are you a light leader? You don't have to have the answer to that. The workshop will help you kind of figure it out. And it's going to be taught. This is the other piece I got to say. It's going to be taught in my Facebook group, since we can't like get together in big groups somewhere. It'll be taught in my Facebook group, which is called Live Your Empowered Life.
Yes.
So if you go there or go to my website, susanburrell.com, you'll see where you can register if anybody who's listening is interested.
Great, great. And wouldn't you say, Susan, that connecting to your light and shining your light really is something our whole life we can focus on and really have it affect our lives? Because any suffering, any challenges, that's today. But today is temporary. So we have, as life goes on, we're going to have the pluses, we're going to have the challenges. That light and connecting to our light and love is something we want to do our entire life. And we can see that grow when you say.
Yes, I agree. Yes. Absolutely. And the thing that I started my spiritual questing when I was in my late teens, early 20s. And it was like a side thing, it was my sidebar. I would devour metaphysical books and go study with shamans and have out-of-body experiences, and stuff like that. And but then my day job was, a completely different component. And when I first started sharing about this stuff, because I thought, oh my God, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. I lost friends right and left because they thought I was a kook, and I was like, wait, doesn't anybody else see how you connect the dots here? And there's only one, and that one is that light, and that light resides within us, and you can name it whatever, Allah, Buddha, whatever. Mm-hmm. And people would kind of go, ha, 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 okay, Susan, and it was kind of, so I did a lot of hiding my light under a bushel, right? And also because I'm empathic and intuitive from very early age. And, what a small child doesn't know how to articulate that, right? Except that, wow, look, there's the person walking by and they're not there. Or, wow, that person's really kind of mean, or, so my family of origin just kind of, suppressed that in me because it wasn't, again, I was kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. I didn't think I was weird, but they did. So it took me a long time till my middle years to actually embrace the truth of who I am. And I think that's true for a lot of people of our age group. I'm really hoping that the millennials, the 20-somethings, the 30-somethings are tuning into themselves much more rapidly so that they can spend the rest of their life being light. For me, it was like, I'll be light over here, but then I got to go to work, or then I got to socialize with people that I'm supposed to socialize, but I didn't kind of really like them, except that, and so learning how to know myself first has been a lifelong journey. And I didn't really know myself until I went through a 28-year ending of a marriage. And it didn't take me 28 years to end the marriage, Paula. It took me 3 or 4. The marriage was 28 years. But that heart-shattering experience for me is what deconstructed and demolished all the walls I had around my heart. And here I was, I'm a conduit for spirit, but my heart was protected. And so because of that shattering, I became vulnerable. And vulnerability, a lot of people think is a weakness, in war language. You don't want the enemy to see that you're vulnerable, right? In the old languaging of how we do business, you don't want them to see your underbelly. Don't let them see you sweat. You know, and I say it's old. I think that's an old paradigm that's broken, and we're seeing it deconstruct right now while we're in this quarantine. That's my opinion. But what I discovered is that vulnerability is actually a strength, because if I can allow myself to stand with someone and be vulnerable, then I am that love, right? Then I am that light, and I can allow that love that moves through me to be given to this person that's sitting across from me or standing.
And many times when we just follow our path and what we feel, and we just follow and we love and we shine our light, it's going to affect others. They're going to feel it. It's going to make a difference in the world. It's going to make a difference in the energy we put out. And, you know, I realize, like you, with having, you know, been doing Reiki energy healing that I absolutely love, and becoming a shaman. You know, I remember 14 years ago when I was learning, I learned it for my dog Shotzi. It helped her immensely. Yeah. But I had family and friends that went, oh no, get away, you know. And then I had ones that was like, yes, I want to learn. Yes, do it, you know. I was able to give my grandchildren Reiki when they were born.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, you still just be you and put it out there, and just be that love and light. And actually, you know, Reiki, I love you talking about conduit, because with Reiki, that's what I tell my students, is we're a conduit of that energy. And I really feel it's connected me to a stronger connection to source. It's
yes.
My intuition. Oh, it's been life-changing. Reiki's life-changing. But it's true that, you know, we can be our own light. We can be a healer. We can make a difference with others, but we can't change others and what they think and what they do. But we can be our light and our shine. And you know, that's something to really strive for, isn't it?
I believe it is. And and so I'm doing it, activating the light within me and within others. And that's actually what the healing modality, the energy I use when I work with clients, is to support them in activating their own light, right? In activating the love that they are. And lots of my clients come to me in divorce or wanting to heal after divorce because they still don't know who they are. And these people, these women mostly, never had this self-esteem, right? Or whatever self-esteem they entered into the marriage with was destroyed or suppressed or whatever. And so reigniting that light within them and the love that they are, and allowing them to learn how, supporting them and guiding them and learning how to love themselves. And some of these women, myself included, I didn't realize that I had never really loved myself. When I got married at the ripe old age of 25, I thought I knew, teenagers and 20-somethings know everything, right? Until you get older and they're like, I didn't know. But so I thought I knew this was right. I knew who I was. I knew where I was going. And then everything went sideways for 28 years. And all of a sudden I was doing this whole different journey that nobody planned. And yet now, looking back, it was the absolute right thing for me to do. And so supporting other women that did not have a family of origin support system that said, I love you, you're beautiful, you're important, or my family of origin, they always said, I love you. But there was an underlying kind of backhanded compliment sometimes that I didn't realize. No, my parents did really well with my brother and I, raising us were really great people. And I had not been learned that self-esteem component. So I kept going through my early years afraid that somebody was going to find out that I wasn't really a good person. And that's because I didn't like myself, right? So learning how to love yourself and then make that the priority, it changes your eating habits, your exercise habits. It changes how you interface with people because you are loving yourself from the inside out.
It opens up so much. It does so much. That's a beautiful thing for you to help others achieve because it is. It's life-changing. I would love for you to share a little bit about your book also, Susan, if you would.
Oh, well, that's perfect segue. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wrote a book it came out last year, called Live an Empowered Life, a 30-Day Journey. And the way the book happened, I was working on a different book. I have posted still up on my wall for this other book. And I was bemoaning, I went away for a weekend with 2 friends and I was bemoaning the fact that the book is taking forever. And one of my girlfriends said, why don't you just write a book on what you teach? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, everything you need for a book is in your computer, I guarantee you. And so sure enough, I got home, opened up my computer. There was everything I needed. It took me 6 hours to pull out the components. It took 9 months to format it, but I knew what it was. And so Live Your Empowered Life, a 30-day journey is, it's a tried and true journey. Let me say that first, Paula, because it's everything I did to heal myself mentally, emotionally, and physically, and energetically while I was going through divorce. Because I knew once my heart cracked open, I knew I had a second half of life and I wasn't going to live it the same way I had for the first half. I really wanted to be happy. I wanted to experience freedom on so many, financially and schedule wise. If I wanted to go to do a trip to Europe or a weekend away, I wanted that freedom and I wanted joy. I just wanted to feel love and be love, right?
Yeah.
And so the book is journaling prompts. There's affirmations I wrote. In fact, I have little cards that I created with inspiring quotes and journaling prompts and affirmations. And this one I pulled right before we got on, and it says, I love and support myself because I trust the universe.
Love it. Trust is huge, isn't it?
Trust is huge. And when your heart's been broken, it's hard to trust. You have to rebuild that trust. And so the book is interactive with my website as well. So I don't want anybody who works the book. It's a workbook. You don't sit down and read it and go, oh, there's my aha. No, I'm all about, you got to dig in and do the work, and you got to excavate the garbage that you've been living under, the belief system, other people's belief systems, and come out whole. So there's guided meditations. You are asked to go to my website to listen to. There's videos, so that I want the individual who's working the book to feel like I'm there with them every step of the way, because that deep inner excavation and journey sometimes is scary. And I know I always want somebody there. They don't have to hold my hand. I just need to know that there's somebody there in case I feel like I'm lost in the dark. So that's kind of how and why I built the book that way.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And it, takes them through a series of steps, and they have support.
Well, because it's about living empowered, I broke down the word empower, and I did an acronym on it so that each word then prompts you to investigate something. So like the first word for empower is esteem. Do you esteem yourself? What does esteem mean? And the next word is M is for movement, but that means transformation to me, getting up and taking an action and transforming yourself. And P is for purpose. O is for ownership. W is wonder. Mm-hmm. And the next E, this is interesting when this dropped in, because of course this comes while I'm in meditation. That second E became emancipation. And when I started to investigate emancipation, which is a trigger word for many, many people, I realized it was about emancipating myself from the inner bondage, those shackles within myself that I was still holding myself back.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a whole bunch of deep words. You can go as deep as you want. You can kind of glide over it if that's how you want to do it. I wouldn't recommend that though, because I am getting people that are finishing the book and telling me they learned stuff about themselves that they didn't even realize had been hidden for years, things they forgot.
Yeah, because we can forget things, we can hide things, and, really seeing ourselves, loving ourselves, trusting ourselves, and trusting the future, and allowing ourselves to say yes to the positive manifestation and growth we have ahead really is huge, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's also about learning how to be, again, open-hearted, meaning, in this case, meaning that you're open to receive the good. Because when we clear out the stuff that's been holding us hostage, there's an empty vessel, right? There's an emptiness, and spirit loves to fill empty stuff, right? That's why, anybody that teaches about how you can have a healthy bank account, they say clean out your closet, right? Because spirit wants to fill you and fill your bank account or fill whatever. So when you clear out the stuff that's been holding you back, then you open yourself up to more love and more light and more fun and all of those things, more happiness, right?
Yeah. And say yes and trust, and things can happen and things can manifest then that you'd never even imagined.
Never even
Positive
imagined.
Manifestation and beautiful things. It's amazing. Isn't it just amazing?
It is.
The power we have to, do so many things for ourselves and open things up. We can all do that. We can all light that fire within us. It's so good.
I have no doubt that anybody on the planet can do it.
Yes.
It's just a matter of learning to trust and love and respect yourself.
I agree. Well, Susan, with just a few minutes left in the show, please share with everyone your website, and what last words would you like to give everyone today?
My website is Susan Burrell, BURRELL.com. My Facebook group, if you're interested in joining the group and or doing the workshop, it's Live Your Empowered Life Facebook group. And what I'd love to share with everyone who's listening is I really invite you to take time, especially if you're still in this quarantine space, and ask yourself, who am I now, having been sequestered? Who am I now? Because who we were when we came in, and certainly I'm sure everybody can feel it, there's been this calming down, this like a gentle pause. And so who are you now? And then how do you want to be in the big B-E, when you are able to go about your day. And the last thing, Paula, is who am I now? How do you want to be? And then begin, like we were just talking about, to vision what your new life is. Because when we come out of this quarantine, there is no going back to normal. There isn't a normal. So what do you want to see your new life look like?
Yes. And envision that, see it, and, also allow for what you may not even envision. It's
right.
I've always been fascinated with, the say yes and trust, the things, we meet the people we're meant to meet, the opportunities that come. It's amazing when we open that door and say yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And, challenges are something that we face throughout our life, and really they give us new perceptions. And I always look at it as we were on this path, but that's going to put us on a different path. But that can take us to something really positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Paula, I have a gift for your listeners. Is it all right if I
Yes.
share that as you were just talking? I'm like, okay. So my gift is a guided meditation. I call it Out of the Box Thinking. And you can go to www.susanburrell.com/free-gift-meditation. And I think this out of the box thinking, the meditation might help you as you're beginning to vision how you want to find your new happiness and your new life.
Wonderful. I love it. Oh, Susan, this has been so fantastic. I'm just really grateful that you joined us today.
I am too. Thank you. And Paula, thank you for all the amazing work you're doing in the world. I do appreciate it. And I know that you're reaching many, and that is so important right now. So thank you.
We're a team. You're welcome.
Yep.
We're just all a team. Our audience, the Joy Seekers community, we are just energy brothers and sisters.
Yay!
Yay! I love it. Oh, well, thank you, everyone. Love, hugs, and blessings. Susan, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you so much.